Hi, this is Paradigm here, introducing the fine line. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my childhood to give you a vague idea of what that was like for me. I had a happy childhood. I grew up in a big family, and at first I lived with my parents, my father and mother, and 3 of my older sisters. I was the youngest. My father was poor when he moved to America, and he became a successful businessman and was the top engineer at his company. And built rocket ships. Okay, so and then my mother, she was a full-time mother and wife, yet she also strived to become a writer, and I remember her typing a lot. Eventually she went to 9 years of schooling to obtain a doctorate degree, in the field of psychology. And she became a successful writer as well. In my childhood, in my youth, I had a happy childhood, and had a lot of fun with my sisters growing up, and I felt loved as a young child, it was unremarkable as far as the paranormal goes. However, I did have a couple of interesting experiences I thought that I would share. The first experience that I had was, one interesting experience that I had that I consider possibly paranormal was when I was left home alone for the first time that I was aware of, and I was very young, very, very young, and I was supposed to be practicing my piano lessons, and with everybody gone, I was sitting at the piano, and realizing that I was alone, I started sobbing uncontrollably. Then suddenly I heard music in my head, and it sounded like a piano song, but it was nothing that I'd ever heard before. I'd never heard this piano tune before. I looked down at the keys, and there was nobody touching them. I was old enough to know what an imagination was. I wasn't known for having a runaway imagination, but looking down at the piano keys and seeing that there was nobody touching them, I assumed that this occurrence was just my imagination. And the song continued to play till the end. It was a beautiful, intricate piano piece that at the time, I tried to think of if it was a song that I recognized, and it definitely was not. And so I listened to the song play at the end, and then I remember just going back to playing the piano, and then that's when everybody basically came back home. I don't even think I got back to my practicing. I think they came home right around that time, as far as I remember. Okay, so let's see, another interesting incident, or a few incidents in a row, were when I was sleeping, let's see, It would be late at night when everybody was basically sleeping. My parents would be in the next room. I had a few incidences, at least a few times. I was either just falling asleep or I was woken up briefly to see my mother standing in front of me. I think she would be wearing her nightgown or one of her daily worn dresses, something like that. And I would say, "Hi, Mom," and then she would just disappear. And so this happened 2 or 3 times, and after about the third time, around the third time or so, I believe, I decided not to say "Hi, Mom" to see if her image would stay, but she still disappeared after a few seconds. So that's kind of a weird thing that happened. It happened a few times. I'm not sure what that was. My mom was alive at the time, like I said. Physically, she was in the next room sleeping. So there's, I suppose, the beginning of my story. I'm not talking really too much about my childhood, but as far as the paranormal goes, I thought I would talk about a couple of those incidences. I'm not sure what else really to say in this section for now. Like I said, I wanted to write a book, and I have written and rewritten, and I have a lot of information on tapes, but I'm not sure if and when I'll get the chance to complete that, so I just wanted to make sure that I get to tell my story here because of the message that I'm sending out. Like I said, that's what's more important to me than anything, and that's what I feel like my life's path is, and I want to make something positive out of some things that happened in the story are, negative, bad things have happened to me. And I'm trying to do something positive with that. So, here it is. Coming up, The Fine Line, Part 1, Satan Cruise. I'm warning you, I provide no shock cushion for my story, so brace yourself. Thank you.